Alright guys, so we're going to show you just a few variations of the plank. There's a ton of them out there. You can get really creative. I'm just going to show you the basics. So we'll start with the normal plank first. Like I said, it's an abdominal workout. Basically, it's what's called an isometric hold, where you are holding one position. The muscles are stuck in a certain part of the contraction. They're not allowed to give or anything like that, so they're constantly just under tension. This is great if you're just working on core strength, core stability, and overall core foundation. So what we're going to do here, we're going to come down all fours. I like, if you're a beginner, start with your hands, because the angle is a little bit higher, which means it's actually a little bit less weight on the core. The higher it is, the easier it is, so you can kind of adjust your level. If you're a complete beginner and you have a long way to go, put a chair out, make sure it's secure, and actually do it against the chair. But otherwise, what we want to do is come to the hands and or come down to the forearms just like this. I prefer to have the hands up. It stops you from wanting to grab the other hands like this, and what happens when you do that, you take a lot of the energy away from what you're focusing on. It doesn't make it very efficient. So what we want to do is really work on keeping the hands relaxed, keeping them up right here. You're going to bring the feet back, straight back, make sure that they're together, and then lower the hips to where you're nice and neutral with the spine. This takes a little bit of practice, just kind of feeling where it's at. At first, people tend to be like this beginning and think they're straight, and they're not. So if you have a mirror, that's awesome, helps you out a little bit. Otherwise, you're just holding this position, trying to keep the belly button up, and the spine nice and neutral. Try not to go like this, like this. It seems small, but anything we can do to protect the spine is going to help you in the long run. Now, that's the first variation. Like I said, you can go to the hands, it's the exact same thing. All you're doing is just change the angle. And like I said, it's a little bit easier here. You can probably hold this a little bit longer. If you're a beginner, like I said, it's just easier for you to get in that position in the first place. All that fun stuff. Now, what you want to avoid when you're in a plank is letting the hips sag, coming up like this, rotating side to side. Try to keep it as stiff as possible. That way you're not cheating the reps at all. Now, you can also emphasize the sides a little bit as well. So this is another variation I want to show you. Start with the feet being stacked. The same principles apply. You can either go with the hand first or the forearm. The hand stays up, nice and relaxed. If this is a little bit difficult for you, what you can do is take this top leg, put it in front like this. It just distributes the weight a little bit more, makes it a little bit easier to push up. You get a little bit of assistance from your adductors here. But otherwise, what you're going to do, the hips are going to come up, strips like this. I prefer the hand right here, but you can also put it up here. We want to avoid the shoulder coming forward or back. Keep it nice and straight here, nice neutral spine, the same as a regular plank, and just holding that guy. Do that for each side as well. Now, the last little variation I want to show you is more of a rotational. What you can do is, same thing, once again, start from either the hands or the forearms. We're going to do a rotational plank. So if you're doing it from the forearms, I prefer to actually have the hands across this way, but you can do it this way, it's totally up to you. Once you're here, keep the feet together, try to keep the hips as still as you can possibly do it, and all you're going to do is rotate up, back down, just like that. And that way you can actually get some reps in. So it's, you either have the isometric version, where you're just holding for time, or you have a propulsion version, or a rotational version, where you're actually counting for reps and so forth. You can do it for duration as well if you'd rather do it that way. Totally up to you. So here's a few variations to kind of get you started. Great for core foundation, core stability, core strength, all that fun stuff. And happy working out.